Well, it's Saturday the 22nd of April, and this is episode 2314 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. When I woke up this morning, I had today's script all written and edited. I'd even completed what I call the word count edit, the final pass that shapes the text, so when spoken, it will fit inside of 5 minutes and 1 second. But with clear eyes in the pale morning light, I wasn't feeling it. Late last year, I made an episode about stepping away from noise. I promised myself that I would be the sort of person in 2023 who steps away from things that are meaning less and towards things that are meaning full. All the episodes I've made so far this year have been, to me at least, meaningful. The episode I'd written for today wasn't necessarily meaningless, but it definitely wasn't meaningful. It was objectively just the thing that I'd written. This is the 228th episode of Permanently Moved. I've been writing, recording, and editing this show weekly since 2018. It was, I think, around episode 100 that Hugh Lemmy asked me, "When do you think columnist brain kicks in?" I'm sure you know what that phrase implies. When will I say something provocative, have a contrarian take, or write some drivel just because I'm on a deadline? I don't think I'm there just yet. This show only requires one good idea a week. Good ideas aren't hard to come by. It's the execution that's hard. Which is why today's episode, instead of being a show I'm not stoked about, is a creative reprise of an old, good idea. One I had 228 episodes ago. Why not make a show in 1 hour? As I type now, I'm sensing a seat of the pants adrenaline rush. Ever since the early days of this show, I've always done 2 or max 3 takes. One to get the mouthfeel, one to record. Maybe a third that's a different type of spoken performance. But since I have a video version of the show to mess about with, and video takes so much longer to wrangle than audio, this episode is going to be a one-take wonder, as I need more time at the back end of the production. Despite all the meditation I've done, I still do have an inner monologue. I still hear words in my head, but they are the clearest only when I need them, which is when I'm writing. For me, now, at this point in my life, writing and thinking are co-continuous. I type between 55 and 60 words a minute, the speed of thought. I hear the words in my head like I'm speaking them. They travel down my arms, through my fingers via the keys, and they appear on the screen. Because of the self-imposed deadline, I have no time to ponder over phrasing or be choosy with words that I am thinking. There is only forward. It occurs to me as I type that the words you will hear me speak aloud are, essentially, a dramatic reproduction of the unspooling of this train of thought. A thought I had just 15 minutes ago. What if I throw away the pedestrian thing and make something more alive, something more meaningful? What if I made a show inside of 1 hour? I will admit I just checked my word count, with 560 words in. Just 400 words left to go. I noticed I touched back on the inciting incident introduced 5 paragraphs above, because I sensed intuitively that I'm about halfway through. I have no idea where this is going, but writing is thinking, so I just need to keep writing to find out. I made an episode, I don't know when, there are so many of them now, about how I think of this show as a container or a vessel. 950 words equals 301 seconds. This is a medium I have chosen to master. Sensing I was halfway through comes naturally to me now. The question is, and I know how this works, will another idea come along in the next 40 to 50 words to transform the show's shape from an A-B format, introduction and idea, into a more pleasing 3-act structure? Perhaps that was it, a comment about structure as the beginning of the 3rd act. As I said earlier, writing is thinking, so we just witnessed, in real time, an example of the structure of thought. The 3rd act, I think, is called the resolution. It's also supposed to contain a climax, which is difficult as I'm not particularly in a climactic mood. I'm in a doing mode. The clock says I've been typing for 14 minutes. For you, the listener, this is the 3rd act, but for me, it is still the opening. After this, I have to record and edit. This is the nature of the 1-hour drama that we are engaged in. 20 minutes of thinking with my fingers will come out as 5 minutes of audio. I speak at 4x the speed that I think. I make a mental note to slow down when speaking aloud in daily life. I wonder now if the authorial voice of this episode will sound any more or less different from my other shows. It is certainly more genuine, completely unfiltered. I enjoy writing and thinking like this. If you like hearing it, let me know. This exercise makes me wonder. No, inspires me to blog more. My sentences are becoming bitty. Single ideas. Short. This thought has clearly run out of steam. Time to record.